said on air from the chair. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Tell all your friends so the show can grow. Take a break and crack a smile while I entertain you for a while. On air from the chair. I said on air from the chair. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome back to On Air from the Chair with your host, Big Mike. That's me. Today, I'm excited. One, we're trying video out for the very first time. So if there's technical difficulties, but right now it seems to be working, so I'm excited about that. But I'm doubly excited because my guest today is Andrew Gilmore. He is somebody that I've known for a number of years, but probably got to know me very well. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Andrew, at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh, yeah. Very, very well.
So Andrew saw more than he ever wanted to with me and Speedos and all kinds of stuff there. So,
yes.
But listener, if you have listened to the other episodes, this isn't his first named appearance. Actually, in the very first pilot, we did a shout out for Andrew and Lindy because they had a baby recently. Little Baylor Madden. So big changes in their family. So anyway, Andrew, welcome. You know what I mean? Obviously I know you, but my listener doesn't. So if you could start off, just tell me a little bit about, kind of where you grew up, your background, all that kind of stuff.
Sure. So I grew up in Ohio. We're in a small town, well, getting bigger, outside of Toledo. And obviously mom, dad, I have one older sister. And basically we were a big sports family.
Okay.
And I was always outside. I love being outside. And it's kind of, as time's gone on, I did high school at Perrysburg, went to college at Bowling Green State University, was studying supply chain management.
Okay.
And just hated college.
Absolutely
hated it.
Yeah.
And so I dropped out and started a business.
Hey, what other options are there, right? It's like, right. Okay, well, if I'm not going to go to school, then let's make money.
Yeah, right. So, but no, so Perrysburg, Ohio, it's an awesome small town. We live out in the country. I'm a big, like I said, I love the outdoors. So being around people, I like it for a little while. And then the traffic, where you're at down in Texas, I don't know. I couldn't.
Oh yeah.
I'd go bonkers.
Oh yeah. No, you're either a land lover or you want your suburban city dwelling, all that kind of stuff. It's a weird mix to try to get both. It rarely exists. So but no, I absolutely get it. So the company you started is called Top Notch, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's a landscaping company?
Yep. It's a lawn maintenance and landscaping.
Lawn maintenance and landscaping. So tell me a little bit about the company, kind of, how long ago did you start it? And kind of how did you start? Like, was it just you and one other guy, or?
So Top Notch kind of started as a hobby. It was one of those ways of making extra side money, and
a little beer money.
Your parents, like my parents, they just made us do chores. They're like, no, we're not paying you for this,
right.
know?
Yeah.
And so this was my side hustle, and I started when I was probably 12 years old.
Oh wow!
Cutting grass for neighbors, you know, and we had like this turnover of newer families coming into our neighborhood, and we were, my parents were like veterans of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so I went to my parents. I said, hey, look, let me use the push mower. I will basically go and get these people that are moving in. They're too busy to worry about the grass. I'll go in and charge them. And so I started doing that, and it kind of took off a little bit. And so I push mowed for a while, and it was, as time grew on, when I was like 14, 15, I finally had enough money to buy a tractor. So, and then I was driving around the neighborhood with my lawn tractor.
So wait, you bought your own tractor at 15?
Yeah. My dad, I think,
contributed some.
He fronted me some money. Yeah, definitely. I mean, my parents have been a huge help with the startup of this. Because without them, initial investments, our business cost is so capital heavy,
Right.
and just with the equipment. So as this has moved forward, it was just me and just mowing. And as I got into college and I was able to drive, and we were kind of expanding where we're working, and I started adding more things into the business, it just blew up.
It
And
just blew.
we just understood. Like I knew a lot of people in town. I mean, I've grown up here since I was
Sure.
born here. So
You got a great network there.
yeah, the
Right.
networking is amazing. So basically, I dropped out of school, and I was still working by myself, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna like invest 100% into myself and get what I need to do this at a bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and Top Notch actually started as an LLC in 2016.
Okay.
As a company, and so we've been around. What is that? 5 years, 6 years. And each year, I mean, it is just it's doubled or tripled. And I went from myself for the first year. I had a helper the second year, and as you know, now we have 12 guys.
Oh, wow.
Multiple crews. We're expanding with doing excavation and grading, and just it's came from more of, hey, we just mow lawns. We're
Right. Yeah.
just we're just mowing, to now
From
it's a full
from
scale.
flyers in the door to an actually
Yes.
scaled business.
And I actually found, it was sometime last year, I found an old flyer that we made. It was like me and my buddy, and it was like Andrew and Gino's mowing,
Yeah.
with a flyer and some like clip art, back then when they
That's
didn't
awesome.
have, you couldn't add the pictures into the
Right.
Word documents. So I found that as nice. Oh man, the good old times of less stress.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've grown it to, you said 12 guys now, or?
So yeah, right now I have 12 guys.
Okay.
It kind of fluctuates,
Sure.
the economy with how labor's been lately.
Right.
But basically now we're doing a lot more landscaping. We're doing a lot more commercial work. We started with just residential houses, and we've built up our referrals and our portfolio to basically be able to service these high-end commercial plazas and office parks. So
Right.
it's cool. I mean, you just kind of like, I sit back and look at it, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then we realize at the same time, there's just a lot weighing on you. You got guys,
Sure.
you have,
Well, you got other people relying on you now, right?
yes,
Yeah.
their
So
families, and it's
right.
just, but I love the challenge. I love the challenge of the job, and just
What's
owning a business.
what's your end goal? You know what I mean? Like how big do you want to make this? Endless, or
That's
do you
hard.
have, hey, as soon as I reach here, I'll feel like I've built this empire that I wanted to build?
I feel like it's hard. That's a hard question to answer, because I feel like you're like, when you own a business and like you're motivated to keep pushing always to the next level, you never want to stop, even if it's
Right.
with something else. Like that's kind of where I've been. I look at Top Notch and I say, well, look, if I could have somebody run this and I could step more away from it, because like now I'm out of the
Daily mowing
labor
and
side, right?
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm more as a sales guy, and a client communication with clients, everything. So like, if I could step away and this could run, and now
Right.
my door opens up and it's like, oh my gosh, there's endless opportunities if you're
Right.
motivated to push that. I
Sure.
think my end goal for at least Top Notch would be sustainable,
Mhm.
where there's money coming in. I can make sure that all of my employees make a great living, enjoy what they do, and want to work.
Right.
And I can go and do another venture. I
So
think that's the end goal.
how do you accomplish that? That was one of the questions that I wrote down was, every company wants sustainability to be able to grow, but
Mhm.
how do you make it to where, or maybe you can share what you've done or how you've done it to ensure that the quality doesn't lessen the further away you are from the day-to-day type operations. I mean, the
Yeah.
scalability,
Yeah.
really, every company wants that scalability. So
Yep.
how do you keep that? Because your brand is your brand,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you
And
don't want
it's
that
your
tarnished.
reputation.
Right,
Right.
exactly. So
Um,
how would you talk to that?
I feel like you have to invest in the people that are working for you. I think
Hmm.
that's one of the biggest takeaways that I see a lot of business owners. They see money coming in, work is good, but they don't. It's about them.
Hmm.
And you have to realize that these group of guys or these people that are working for you, if they're not there, you're nothing.
Yeah, right.
You
You're
know,
you're back to 7, 12 years ago.
yeah, and I think a lot with like how we've had all these things with Corona and all this stuff,
Oh yeah.
and inflation. I mean, I call it
Hmm.
inflation right now, but some others may not.
Right, right.
But with all that stuff going on, you see what people in the workplace are doing, and
Hmm.
if you don't care about them, they don't care about you.
Right.
And so I've just took a lot of time to make sure like our workers feel like their family. And
Yeah.
I've done unorthodox things. I feel like, I mean, even honestly, as simple as, hey, um, I'll buy a couple 24 packs of beer and
Oh
we'll
yeah,
on a Friday and,
for
everybody hang out
sure.
the shop. We'll throw some ribs on the smoker and enjoy. I mean,
Yeah.
some of it's just simple stuff, but people get so caught up in work, 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 work. They don't they're not thinking of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, to me, it's about making them feel like they're part of the actual organization. You know what I mean? That the
Yeah,
brand's just as important to them as it is to you,
yeah,
which, can be hard to do. But, I think what you're saying there is, one, invest in hiring the right people, and
yes,
then
yes,
invest
definitely.
in making them feel vested in the actual company.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's definitely hard to do as a smaller business.
Yeah.
You're because you don't have the margins or the profitability of a large corporation that they can go and do these
Right.
extravagant things. So it's just penny pinching a little bit, but also giving your side away to make sure everybody
Right.
else is happy.
Right. So, what advice would you give to somebody who wanted to start a small business, and let's just say a landscaping business, but really, I think it can be any type of business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one thing is when you do something, you learn a lot because we fail a lot, right? We try a bunch of different things, it doesn't work out, and you're like, crap, that sucks, my knees hurt, whatever.
Yep.
But you end up learning from it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So what advice, one or two little tidbits would you give to somebody that was like, what, a listener right now saying, maybe I'll start my own landscaping company. What would be the things that you said, this is what I learned and I wish I would have done then?
Mhm.
I just hit my elbow.
Um, I would say learn from somebody else first. It's
Okay.
it's always good to have a mentor.
Sure.
It's always good to pick someone's brain that is doing what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I think I'm friends with more 40-year-old business owners than I am guys my age because
Right.
I'm picking their brain about things that they learned and messed up, and I'm implementing them into my business.
Sure.
Um, the other one is honestly, you don't know until you try. And
Right.
I think that's very, I mean, you hear it a lot, and it's definitely easier said than done
Yeah.
because some people are risking a lot when they do that.
Well, and the problem too that I'm seeing nowadays, and I don't want to age myself and sound like the grumpy old man saying, you're driving too fast, get off my lawn.
Yeah, right.
But what I'm seeing a lot now is people want a lot of stuff just given to them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and they don't want the sweat equity of actually getting in there and learning
Mike, you
and
mean you have to work for that?
right, right. Yeah. What's this word work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a, so I see that more and more where people aren't willing to, or they'll get into something and they don't give it the time to really work itself through. And they're like, well, this isn't working. And they give up too early. Whereas
Mhm.
if no, you keep pushing through those failures, and ultimately you'll get to where you want to be.
Yeah, I know. I 100% agree. I think, there's a lot of rough patches. I've been through a lot of rough patches. Um, and those are things that make or break a good business owner is you have to push through it. You have to be on the tipping point of failing to understand truly what success is. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think that's there's just people give up too easily. They
Right.
really do. And yeah, I just think if you study enough and you have good systems and you learn from somebody
Mm-hmm.
and you take them under and you don't want to rush things and be smart. I think anybody can be a successful business owner and what they would want to be.
Sure. Well, and especially if you're passionate about it. What I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is, a lot of us have jobs, and then, some of us get the opportunity to do something that we're passionate about.
Yeah.
And it's not saying that, I mean, I don't know, Andrew, maybe you are passionate about the length of a piece of grass, but what I mean, you're passionate about building a business, what I mean,
Yeah.
about making a livelihood for your family,
Yeah.
which leads me into my next question. So,
Okay.
pardon me, the term when I talk with business owners, entrepreneurs such as yourself, to me, what the resounding thing that they all say is I want to build a legacy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that word gets thrown around, and it means something different to everybody.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what is the legacy that you would like to leave? What does that mean to you? And has it changed in the last month or so since you've become a father?
I will say it definitely. I've looked at a lot of things with a different perspective after having a little girl. I mean
Yeah.
that you don't know it until you have her, and
Mm-hmm.
it changes a lot. But I think the biggest thing, legacy wise, would be just when people think of a company that I am running, whether it's top notch or in the future another company, that it's not that snarky. Oh, he's so this
So
business. I just never want to have anybody ever look at me in the wrong way. I always want to do good for somebody,
sure,
and I want my name or my family's name to be kept that way.
sure,
Um, I think that's huge. It's just reputation and what we're known for. Um, and obviously to have options for our kids as they get older to be able to succeed. I believe in having to work hard to be successful and
sure,
learn.
yeah,
But at the same time, if I'm able to offer to my kids things that either maybe I didn't have or that I would have, it just there's a lot
right.
of things like that, that
Yeah, no, it's
I'd love
and
to.
I think every parent strives for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'll also say is, Baylor's in a great position because she's got a great role model to show her through life of, hey, things aren't handed to you. You roll up your sleeves, you get after it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I think my family was kind of built that way as well.
Oh yeah.
My dad was fairly successful, and but he always made us kind of understand, hey, yeah, we were indentured servants too. I mean, we were the ones that mowed the grass, never got an allowance or any of that
Yeah.
stuff. It was like, hey, you got a roof over your head and food in your belly. This is the cost of being part of the family.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so
You
I
give just enough, but not too much,
right,
and
right.
with life lessons in between.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, hey, listen, I'm not going to monopolize your time, but I am going to ask you one last question that might throw you for a loop. So,
Perfect.
if somebody who just knows you casually, okay,
Okay.
or not at all, and they meet you, what would they be surprised to find out that Andrew, you know, does or is into? Ideas would be like you're a classically trained opera singer, You know what I mean? Or something
I wish.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes I think that, but my wife will disagree. Lindy will definitely disagree on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the shower, I can sing my ass off. You know what I mean? For sure. What do you do for fun outside of working, or do you just work nonstop?
Hobbies. I'm a big action sports guy. I mean, I love to go fast, but I will not go on any roller coasters. I love the thrill. What? Oh yeah. I love the thrill of speed, but
would you jump out of an airplane?
Oh hell no.
No. Okay.
Oh hell no. I guess this is a good one. One time I got dragged to Cedar Point, which is a massive one
amusement
roller
park,
coaster amusement park in our area, and I would refuse to go on any roller coasters. Well, I got dragged onto the Wicked Twister, I think it was, and I was standing in this line, and I was hyperventilating. I had tears, and I was like 16, 17 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was old. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so nervous because I don't trust those things at all. One little bar over my stomach does not make me feel any bit of safe.
Right. So,
and I see how often they break down, and I don't want to be on that thing.
Oh, that's
so
too funny.
I did end up, I went on it, but I screamed like the loudest little girl.
And that was the last roller coaster you've ever been on.
Last one I've ever been on, and I will not go back.
That's too funny. That's too funny. Well, no,
when it comes to lawn care, there's good, there's better, there's even best. But then there's top notch. Don't trust your lawn care to anyone but the very best. Top Notch Lawn Maintenance is family owned and operated, exceeding their clients' expectations in Perrysburg since 2017. Call today to learn how Top Notch Lawn Maintenance can make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood.
You're a mind reader.
Yeah, right.
Big Mike the mind reader.
That's right, Big Mike the mind reader. No, but honestly, the main reason why I wanted you on here is one, I really think of you very highly. I think you're a great guy. You're awesome to Lindy. You're going to be a great dad. But the fact that I really admire the fact that at your age you were able to build a business. And it's still growing. It's gangbusters. You're very serious about it. In fact, you're going next week to some trade show or something, right?
Yeah, we're going down to Kentucky. I'm taking 6 guys down there to stay for a few days. And it's the world's, well, not the world. I don't think it's the world's, the country's biggest equipment expo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's the guys get excited for that.
So now, do you treat that like Vegas, where you leave your credit cards at home? So
they do. Let's just say it's one of those things that I do to make sure that they understand I appreciate them. They get to go have fun, and cool. We make sure that they enjoy it. And
yeah, no, absolutely. Well, listen, I can't tell you how thankful I am for you doing this. All right, everybody. So I am so excited to share that episode with you guys. To say that I enjoyed my time with Andrew would be an understatement. The guy is absolutely so impressive. One, just a really cool dude, very business savvy as well. Their link to Top Notch will be down at the bottom of the description. So check them out. If you live in the Toledo area, you have to be using Top Notch. If you're interested in starting your own business, Andrew did share with me at the end of our session there off the video that he would love to be a mentor. Go to their website. There will be a way to get in contact with them from there. But other than that, guys, go to our website. Go to onairfromthechair.com. Share us reviews. Give us ideas, suggestions. And remember, who do you know out there that can sit in that chair? So there's always one question that I ask you before the end of every episode. Who dares to take the chair? Will it be you?